Okay, so let's do part 2 of 4.7, and this is all about using a piece of the quadratic formula to be able to tell how many solutions there will be. So remember, there's 3 different types of solutions, sorry about that, for these problems. So you have just your normal one that has 2 solutions. You have ones that look like this, or the quadratics that look like this, that never cross the x-axis, because remember that's when the solutions are a solution. And then you have the kind that just, oops, let me try to draw that again, reach down and touch it in one place, and so there's only one solution. Okay, so those are your 3 options, either no solutions, 2 solutions, or 1 solution. Okay, so you can use the quadratic formula to be able to figure out which part it is, or how many solutions that you should have. So if whenever you do the b squared minus 4ac, that's the part, underneath the square root, right? So the b squared minus 4ac. So after you set it equal to 0 and you plug that in for just that part, and if your discriminant is negative, that means there is no solution. Okay, and this is something you're going to need to know for your quizzes and tests, because there's going to be problems that just ask how many solutions are there. Whenever you get it and you solve that in the solution, or you get 0, that means there is 1 solution. And if it is positive, that's going to be 2 solutions. Okay, so this is something that if you have a note card in the future, I would definitely have written down. So let's find the discriminant and tell how many solutions there will be for the quadratic equation. So first thing, of course, we need to get a 0 on one side. So let's move that 10 over for this problem by subtracting it. So that gives me 2x squared plus 4x, and then that would give me what? Positive 2 equals 0. Okay, now so for this problem, my a is 2. My b is 4, and my c is 2. So I am plugging it into b squared minus 4ac. So my b is 4, so this would be 4 to the second power minus 4 times my a, which is 2, times my c, which is 2. Okay, so now if I were you, I would just straight up stick that in a calculator and see what you get. That's usually what I do. So on this one, whenever you solve it, you get 0 as your answer. So what does it mean whenever your answer is 0? That means it is 1 solution. So the answer to this problem is 1 solution. That's all they want you to write. Okay, let's do another one. Move this positive 8 over, so I'm going to minus 8. That gives me negative 8x squared minus 7x minus 2 equals 0. So now my a is negative 8, my b is negative 7, and my c is negative 2. All right, so the formula is b squared minus 4ac. So I'm going to have negative 8 to the second power, and remember, you always have to have parentheses around a negative whenever you raise it to the second power, minus 4 times my a value, negative 8, times my c value, negative 2. So put it in a calculator and see what you get. Okay, so we're doing this. This would be 0 again. All right, so 0, which we just did one like this, so this would be 1 solution. And that's all they want. So your answer is not 0, your answer is 1 solution, so make sure you don't mess that up. Okay, just 2 more problems to go and then we'll be done. So first we got to get a 0, so let's add 7. So this one's a little bit different. Look what happens. So both of those cancel. So I have 7x plus 8x equals 0. All right. So my a on this one is 7. My b is 8. Now what is my c? What's that going to be? If there's nothing there, well, then it's just going to be 0, right? Okay, so the formula is b squared minus 4ac. Oops, I put c twice. So this would be 8 to the second power minus 4 times A, which is 7, times C, which is 0. Well, I know anything times 0, this is all going to be turning into 0, right? Or if you put it in a calculator, that would just all turn to 0. So then you're just left with 8 to the second power, which is 64. All right, since this is positive, this would have 2 solutions. And then the last one, let's subtract 6. So this would be negative x squared minus 6x minus 9 equals 0. So my A on this time, what is it? Well, it's going to be negative 1. My B is going to be negative 6, and my C is negative 9. The formula is b squared minus 4ac. So I have negative 6 to the second power in parentheses minus 4 times negative 1 times my C, which is negative 9. Stick that in the calculator and see what you get. Okay, so this is another 0, 1. So we have a 0, 1, which would be 1 solution. Okay, that is it. Thanks for watching.